know the 4-year-old 3 days later remembered phenomenon, and I didn't have to see beat me saying it. I said, "All right," I was so excited. Yeah, you're phenomenal. I said, "What you say?"
Big words, yes. Big words. They know that. And you can say, you are so clever. Then they look at you like,
Yeah.
what is clever? That means you're very smart. And then you're giving them definition right there. And then they start using that. They start using it, and then it make you feel like you did your job. And without doing your job, you said it one time and they got it.
Yeah.
So I had my when I was in the classroom with my threes, because we were using creative curriculum back then. In creative curriculum, they have a lot of big vocabulary words. And I used to say, "You are so clever." And this little girl would look at me. The first time I said it, she looked at me. She's like, "What did you say?" And I said, "That means you're very smart." She's like, "Oh, she said I'm smart." And then when her mom came to pick her up, she said, "Mom, I am so clever." And the mom was like, "Where did you learn that word from?" She said, "Miss Gigi said I'm so clever." I'm like, "Oh." And then from now on, they start using the word clever. And then I used the word dash. Dash means running fast. And I said, "No dashing today." And it was like, and when somebody would start running around the classroom, they said, "No dashing today." No, don't do it. But the big words help them a lot.
They
So
make the connections.
they do.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let you go ahead. I was
Yeah.
at the church this morning helping set up for our beautification, and they was putting up balloons.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ladies' granddaughter was there, and she said, "That's why I don't like dealing with strings. They're so tedious." And the lady,
Ooh.
she said, her granddaughter, she said, "What does tedious mean?" But here you got just the one who answered, the grandmother, 36 years of teaching. She said that means it's just gets under your skin. It's irritating. She said, "Oh wow."
See, they once you teach them, they teach others, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the tool that they need. You give it to them, and they're gonna go around and distribute. And that's important that they know big words. And then don't be shy to teach them big words. Do not be shy because they gonna if as long as you give them definition, the meaning of what the words mean and how to use it, they always gonna remember that.
Yeah.
They will
So
remember it.
now she's gonna use that. She's gonna say tedious.
Yes, she will.
Conversation because she know what it means now.
Yes, she will. She will say it. That's gonna be her favorite word. It will be her favorite word. That was funny. Thank you for sharing that. All right. So, what types of transportations are there? I started a PowerPoint this way so I can show you. As you can see those beautiful buses and there's cars here, different colors. There's one yellow and there's a lot of blue and white. Um, Based on what the PowerPoint background was about, so it just created that so that way you know what transportations are there. So this particular types of transportation are divided into three category or four categories where it's talking about that. Not so much what we just did. We did private and public, but this one did four. So we didn't categorize them on what type they are. They are a land transportation, they are maritime transportation, they are air transportation, and there are specialized transportations. Did you know that?
Air transportation.
Yes. I will
So
share with you in a minute.
so that they broke it down. So if we said we would have to get specific and say what type of transportation do they have
Yes.
for the air, and then we would have said airplanes.
Yeah.
Jet. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So it's divided so that way they know. Because you want to make sure they understand what they are. Because we are adults. We already knew. And once we know it, we don't want to say, "Oh, I'm going to divide it or categorize it different ways." So, but because of that particular, I just type it in. I said, "What type are there?" And then it divided into four. So the first one is land. So if you're talking to the children, you ask them, what types of transportations are there? Now I'm talking about the one that you drive on land. Then they will tell you cars, they will tell you trains, buses, bicycles, and tram. The tram is the one that we talk about the trolley.
Okay.
So that's what it is. And then it says it is for passenger for to from transit to freight transportations with a high speed trail. The one we talk about that's in Skyline. You I said, would they have that in Miami? It pick up at one location and it goes to the next location without even stop anywhere. Until they get to the destination. So that's what that one is about. So it's on land, but it's somehow it's high. But they said the places that you find the tram is in Japan and France. So I don't know if that's the same thing as the one in Miami. I thought it was, but I guess not. So, but those two places, that's where they find them. And also, I was looking online. It says there's a train it's on land. I don't know if it's happening, but it's on the street where cars can go underneath them.
That's in China. I've seen that.
You seen that? Okay, so that's in
I've seen
China.
that. They actually
Have
go to
that.
the door.
Yes.
They actually go to that. Wow.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was reading. I'm like, oh, that's neat. So they don't have to stop. They can still keep going.
Yeah.
So that's really neat. So basically, if you're gonna talk about, you wanna categorize your transportation types of transportations, you wanna bring it to the one that you know that can travel the land, and then the next thing you say is, oh, let's talk about the maritime transportation. We know there are ships and there are boats. They are in the water. As you can see, AI was really good. So they give me a nice picture for ships and boats. And they're all in the water. So you're talking about that to show them what they do. Now, if you want to be more detailed about what types are there,
Yeah, because you can also see a submarine.
yeah, you can say submarines. You can say where the ship go, what kind of ship, what kind of boats, because the big boat, the small boat cannot go in the deep in the water, like the canoe.
Yeah.
They cannot go in there. So you have to be specific which one you would take in the middle of the ocean, because the middle of the ocean is sometimes the water can be really ugh, hard. The waves can be really deep and really bothersome. So a small boat cannot go there. So you want to explain to them what kind of ship will go there. If they've never been on a ship before, you can bring pictures of different traveling ship, like there's one Carnival. There's another one. I forgot what the other one name is.
Disney.
Disney, yeah, Disney cruise. Yes.
For the cruise.
Yeah, for the cruise. So you talk about that. Yeah, yes. All the names that you know, you bring them up and you show them how they look like. You could talk about the cabin, the room, how many rooms they have on board. If you want to be, you just want to show them detail or share details with them, and you could differentiate them. What's the difference between a ship and a boat to give you more information. So, that's what you could do. And then you could say the ship is the one that can go travel with passengers. They go from different places. They have some luxury cruises. They could go to Bahamas. And the boat is really going a shorter distance, like in the coastal. They don't go really far because it's too much wave and too much water, depth of water for them to be sustained that wind if they go far away. So you want to explain that to them what it is. That will help them a lot if you want to go that far. And the other one that I found is let me see, it's the air transportation. When you talk about air transportation, you have the airplanes, you have the helicopters. Now, they said, what is the plane is used for? They have commercials, they have private. I know we said personal jet, and we didn't say public, but the public ones is the one that can take someone to work, or if you're traveling, you take the airplanes, and the helicopter could be for medical, a medical helicopter, or just personal. Some people have personal helicopters.